time for the first contestant to speak is 8 minutes and 13 seconds. There's no penalty. Contestant may begin.
Until I heard the story about my grandfather's service in the United States Army, I wondered how he could be so patriotic after growing up in the South during the 1940s and 50s, where the pressure of segregation was extremely intense. Throughout his lifetime, he has seen a lot of moments in American history that directly impacted his livelihood. Yet, he is now a patriotic veteran who is proud of his choice to defend the United States Constitution, and he considers the military service an opportunity of a lifetime. My grandfather, William Haynes, escaped the segregated South of Alabama just 1 month after graduating high school by moving to New Jersey, which was still a segregated but not as intense environment. During that summer, he explored his opportunities as an emerging young man living up north. He was an excellent student and athlete in high school, and he wanted to go to college, but times were tough, and being the fifth out of 11 children, even with a scholarship, his family could not afford it. He was also a great baseball player and planned to try out for the New York Mets minor league farm team, as many had encouraged him to do. But due to a life-changing decision, he never made it to trial. In September, on his 18th birthday, my grandfather respectfully honored his obligations and duty as an American and registered for the draft. Just 2 weeks later, he received his draft letter for the United States Army, which he accepted, leaving his dreams and his family behind. This was all in 1964, when racial tension was elevated in our country, as American citizens were fighting for human and equal rights that were granted to them by our Constitution. This was also during the Vietnam War, in the midst of anti-war protesting, where many Americans opted to flee the country or serve time in jail rather than serving the draft. Even more, this was just months after President Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act of 1964 into law, prohibiting discrimination on the basis of race, religion, color, sex, or national origin in employment, and segregation in public places. Considering this, my grandfather felt pressured being a young African American man in the 1960s who felt it was his civic duty to serve and fight for the America that was evolving in many ways. He did not know if or when he would ever return home to his family, but he did know that if he returned home, he was certain to be a changed man. Now, everyone who joins the military has one initial requirement. They must swear in by repeating the military oath which states, I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me. So help me God. Abiding by that oath, my grandfather served 3 years in the United States Army, including 18 months in Okinawa, Japan, as a repair parts specialist in Mission. He returned home in May 1967, receiving his discharge papers for his honorable and faithful service to his country. Ironically, this was the same month and year that Muhammad Ali was arrested for refusing the draft. Nevertheless, My grandfather walked proudly in his Army uniform, grateful to God and his country for the experience and honor of service, and most importantly, for returning home unharmed. You see, many veterans return home from serving in the military, physically, spiritually, and mentally devastated from when they left. What we now call post-traumatic stress disorder has been a common issue among veterans who served in combat with the colonial times. Soldiers often return to their homes violent, depressed, addicted to drugs and alcohol, and some eventually became homeless. Seeing such unfortunate circumstances was humbling for my grandfather, yet made him even more patriotic. As he remained in the Army Reserve for another 4 years, he credits the Army for helping him develop as a man. His constitutional right to the GI Bill of Rights afforded him the opportunity to his constitutional right to the GI Bill of Rights, officially the Servicemen's Reinvestment Act of 1944, signed by President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Former National Commander of the American Legion of 1936, Harry W. Comey, wrote the first draft of the GI Bill, implementing the bill, knowing that it would help struggling veterans. Mr. Comey proudly quoted, "Never again do we want to see the honor and glory of our nation fade to the extent that her men of arms, with despondent hearts and palsied limbs, totter from door to door, bowing their souls to the frozen bosom of reluctant charity." Although it had opposition and controversy, the GI Bill has been recognized as being one of the most significant pieces of legislation ever produced by the federal government. It essentially helped millions of veterans and their families as intended. It helped establish hospitals, made low-interest mortgages available, and granted stipends and tuition, covering the expenses of veterans pursuing higher education. It was through the GI Bill that my grandfather was able to obtain the cost of the down payment for a house so that he could bring the rest of his family from Alabama to New Jersey. It also afforded him the opportunity to go to carpentry school and pay other additional bills, which helped him establish his American dream of becoming an established family. Included in the beauty of our free America is the history of our veterans who sacrificed their lives and livelihood to protect our country. As veterans have done so much for our country, there is no question that more can be done every day to protect, honor, and serve the veterans, the 21 million veterans in America today. Thank you.
One of the four amendments were returning to the
No.
Okay, the time is 7 minutes and 43 seconds. And there's no comment. No comment.
1 minute. You got 1 minute to be a 1 minute.
Read it again.
Amendment 16.
I'm informed the students right now
I'll take care of that.
that they have to give a 4-minute call on the amendment 16. Amendment 16 is Congress shall have power to lay and collect taxes on income on whatever source derived without apportionment among the several states and without regard to any expenses or enumeration.
Those two same amendments?
They both do the
No, they both get the same amount.
they both do the same.
Guys, help yourself to coffee and donuts.
Did her coach stay with her?
What?
Can I go to my daughter next? Or
Right now,
The students are given 5 minutes to
they
think
give it
about
5
it.
minutes.
they're by themselves?
Yes, they have to be by themselves. They have somebody,
Oh.
they have somebody in the room,
Uh-huh.
now, otherwise.
Yeah.
At the beginning,
Huh? You're the coach, okay.
what the 4 minutes would be.
Their
And
Valentine's
that
Day
one
donut.
of the 4, they must speak at least 4 minutes on. If they speak less than 4, it's going to be a penalty.
It's not.
This
It's not.
time, students will show 3, 4, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, that's what it said.
3 to 5.
3 to 5 minutes, not 4.
Still use this one for the next.
Of course,
You can still use this for the next one.
like there is some coffee and donut here.
Guys, help yourself, guys.
Thank you, Sandra, for providing the reflection.
I can't.